Fall is always that time of the year when the year's AAA games come out. This fall in particular has been absolutely packed with huge game releases. Final Fantasy 15, Battlefield 1, Dishonored 2, and many more. It's also at this time of the year that I realize how cruel the games industry can be towards its customers, because when so many good games come out in such a short amount of time, it absolutely fucks our wallets. Either that or our wallets are empty to begin with, so we can't buy any of those games, so we just have to look on as other people play away, carefree, enjoying their brand new games, and you're sitting there just playing a game from 2012 that has absolutely no people online. So you know what you set out to do? You set out to buy that one fucking game that you've been wanting, that one game that everyone's been talking about. You decide to come up with the money somehow, save up, sell some of your stuff, suck some find a job, and eventually you come up with the money and you can finally afford that game you've been wanting. You go out and buy it, and then guess what? It just wasn't as good as you thought it would be. All that money is spent on that game goes poof, and you feel like you've lost. This isn't something that happens only with new games. This applies to any game you want to buy. Haven't you guys ever found yourself in a position where you bought a game and just thought it wasn't as good as you hoped it would be? One example in my mind is with Dishonored 2. The game is a fuck ton of fun when everything works, but the absolutely shit optimization on release for the PC port and the sometimes overwhelming story just bogged the game down. Another more recent example in my mind is with a game called Rainbow Six Siege. Now if you go and look at gameplay of this game, it looks very fucking badass and very tactical. So about a week ago, I decided to take the plunge and buy it. As you could have imagined, I didn't end up liking it all that much. I don't think it's a bad game by any means, but it's just not for me. The gameplay is very slow and methodical, and after a year of playing Black Ops 3, I found it extremely difficult to try and adjust. Granted, I may be getting used to it now, but I just don't think it's my kind of game. I could give you guys some more examples, but I'm not going to bore you. The point I'm trying to make is, most average Joes like me don't have a ton of money to spend on video games. That's why whenever we do buy a game, we gotta try our best to make sure it's a game we'll enjoy, because if it isn't, then we've basically fucked ourselves over. So what I decided to do in this video, good old RejectedPlayboy, best YouTuber in the game, I decided to make a list of guidelines that would help people, including of course myself, to make better choices with our money when it comes to video games. I call it the list of not fucking yourself over when you spend money on a game. Number 1. If it has any betas or demos, just play them. Now I know this is an obvious one, but it's still worth mentioning. The recent rise in the popularity of betas has definitely been a positive. Betas give you a pretty good idea of how the final game will be. On top of that, if you end up enjoying the beta, it's almost as if you're sinking hours into a brand new game for free. If you end up not enjoying it though, hey, you save yourself $60. Number 2. Resist the hype. Some of the worst video games ever have had an absolute fuck ton of hype behind them. Case in point, the failure that is No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is almost universally known as the biggest flop of 2016. Granted, it sold really well thanks to all the hype that was behind it, but all things considered, most people thought it was just a bad game. Don't believe me? Well then, you can ask my friend Shammy, who actually played the game and even fucking reviewed it. Yeah, Shammy, what do you have to say, Shammy?
RejectedPlayboy fucks children.
You see? Wait, what? The best way to avoid the hype of any game is either to get to play it yourself for free through something like a beta and then see if it's good, or just wait post-release for what people have to say about it. Yeah, you can take reviews from IGN and GameSpot into account, but also try to consider reviews from normal people who bought the game, since more often than not, those people paid for the game straight out of their own pocket and tend to be more trustworthy. Or you could just wait for a dumbass like me to buy the game and then review it. Either way, just don't buy a game purely off of its hype. Number 3. Ask your friends if they're buying it. Even the worst game can be a ton of fun to play if you're playing it with your friends. Playing with your friends adds a layer of socialness to the gameplay and can make the experience a lot more fun. Ranking up, going on a win streak together, even just fucking around, it can be a ton of fun. But hey, if the game turns out to be bad and you end up having a shitty time, at least you're having a shitty time together. Number 4. Wait for the game's price to drop. Again, another no-brainer, but this is probably one of the more difficult rules to follow, since if the game turns out to be great, it will suck watching everyone having fun playing the game while you just sit there and twiddle your thumbs. But yeah, there's no shortage of sales on PC. Games prices drop quite often, so if there's a game you're completely dead set on buying, but you're weary that you're spending way too much money on it, just wait for the price to drop. Either that, or you could use gray key sites like G2A, where even brand new games are much cheaper than anywhere else. Gray key sites have come under a lot of fire as of late though, since it turns out that a lot of the keys sold on those sites are brought through a method called chargebacking, which is sort of illegal, and it fucks over a lot of developers, especially indies. So yeah, if you're one of those moral type of dudes, stick to the Holy Trinity: Steam, Origin, and Uplay. Anyways guys, that's the end of the list. Hopefully these tips may help you and also help me, because I've been finding myself in a lot of shitty financial situations with games recently. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for the fucked upload schedule. Shit happens. I'll see if I can talk about it more in another video soon. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I also want to thank my friend Shammy for appearing in this video for 3 seconds and calling me a child fucker. Guys, his content is really fucking good, so please go check him out. I doubt that he'll gain any substantial boost from me shouting him out, but yeah, his content is good. If you like my content, there's a good chance that you'll like his content even more, because it's honestly better. But yeah, my name's RejectedPlayboy, and peace the fuck out. Both.